No, I am not going to be driving a red Cadillac, Cameron, because, too much painful memory, too many painful memories of that day. For anyone who doesn't know, the first time I was ever at Le Mans was 2023, the Centenary event, and I was repping a Wheelin' Cadillac shirt, 311. Proper went all in on merch for one team. Picked the team because I liked the drivers. I liked Alexander Sims and Jack Aitken, and I just wanted to pick a team to support to make it more fun. So rocked up to the Dunlop chicane with my Cadillac 311 shirt on 2023. For those of you who watched Le Mans in 2023, you know what happens next. But it was literally the only car to put it in the wall on lap 1 of a 24-hour race, and that was it. So pain. Anyway. How are you all getting on? Welcome along to the Traction channel for another stream. The first LMU stream of the year, and it's a big one, it's a cool one. Unfortunately, I was going to explain to you my car choice, because it's one of those where it's a hear me out situation. However, you can already see on screen right now, I am in fact in an LMP2 car. Now, I'll explain why in a minute. I promise I have good reasons. But first of all, I am joined in the chat, not necessarily for the whole event, because he's very much doing multiple things at once today, and I think he's going to have to leave at some point for a meeting, and there's all sorts of stuff happening. However, I am joined in the chat by Ozley. Hello.
Hello.
Ozley, you are my engineer today, because about 5 minutes ago, we discovered that you can have an engineer in a single-player special event or a weekly race, which I didn't realise. I thought it was only team events. So that shows how much I've been paying attention recently to things. So we just thought, let's try it and see what it's like.
And I've been wanting to do this ever since it came out, like last year or so, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, ever since it was announced, really. So it'll be a fun experience.
Apparently an ad interrupted me as I was chatting about Cadillac. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ludicrous Fool. I'm so sorry. We've set the ads, I promise, to as low as possible on YouTube. It's automated, because obviously we're not manually putting them in a live stream, but it is set to low. So unfortunately, you got cut out there, but you can go back and listen to the story again. It ends with a Cadillac in the wall, and me very sad, basically. Yes, so I am driving the LMP2. Now, you may be wondering, I put up a YouTube poll, Hypercar won the poll, and yes, this is the first time I've fully gone against a poll that I've created for you guys to vote. However, I should be clear, I also did a poll on Discord, and the LMP2 won the Discord poll, the Hypercar was last. But the main reason I've gone for LMP2 rather than Hypercar is I had so many comments and messages from people basically saying, here's, laying down the reasons why I should pick an LMP2. Whether that was, it's the middle class of 3, so you're going to have faster cars passing you and slower cars to pass. The cars are also just really fun to drive, but lots of people basically messaged me, there's no BOP to worry about with multiple cars. And I thought, you know what? With all of that in mind, the fact that I've actually never done a longer LMP2 race on this game, I've never done an LMP2 race around La Sarthe in this game, and I have never been in the middle class of 3 on this game, I just thought, you know what? I'm going to go with the Discord vote, and I'm going to go with the LMP2. So apologies to anyone who was expecting a hypercar, but I just think that this is going to be fun. Like, I really do. There's no BOP to worry about. Everyone's the same speed. The strategy's, going to be, I think, decided by weather and whether or not you fuel save. There's no virtual energy to sort of manage on this occasion. So I'm going in a bit cold and in the deep end. However, I'm really looking forward to it. So hopefully you guys are too. So let us know in the chat where you're watching from, as always. Now, Ozzy, I have no idea how the engineer feature actually works. This is the first time we'll be experimenting with it, but just, and I know you're going to be ducking in and out, so I'll not be surprised if at some point I ask you a question and you're not there. It's fine. But are you? I guess the server starts in 7.5 minutes, so you can't really do anything for now. But we'll let you guys know what we see when we see it.
No, it hasn't told me. Well, I can join practice apparently, but I don't know if that means be your engineer.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
If that's like session,
as a driver.
So I'm not going to risk it.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. So this is a 2.4 hour of Le Mans race. The event kicks off at 1 o'clock, so we will jump in the server at 1. You've got literally 5 minutes of practice and then you're straight into qualifying. Now, as usual, I am woefully ill-prepared for this. I've done a couple of laps. I did one pit lane entry a second ago just to try and work out the pit stop length, and I went miles beyond the pits, and I went flying across the gravel, so I completely got it wrong. So we're up against it, but because it's 2 hours and 24 minutes or something like that, there's enough time to sort of, bed in, get up to speed, and just and see where we end up, really. Don't know what split I'm going to be in, but there are well over 250 sign-ups, so plenty of competition, which means the split should be fairly even, and we should find ourselves in a competitive event, which is what we want. Is LMU the dog's whatsies in the sim racing world now? Serious sim. I guess you could argue yes, to be honest. It's one of a few dog's whatsies, but yeah, LMU is definitely, I would say, in terms of where it sits in the sim racing world, it's sort of establishing itself as a kind of natural successor to ACC, which is a bit strange because you might think, well, Assetto Corsa, obviously, Evo is going to be the natural successor, but it doesn't work like that. I believe LMU to be the natural successor to ACC as a popular, sort of focused sim, essentially focusing on one series. Obviously, there are multiple series in this game now with the LMS, like there is with ACC. But the physics and stuff are fantastic. They're amongst the best in sim racing. Force feedback amongst the best in sim racing. It's still not a perfectly clean game in terms of how it looks and how it runs, and there's still issues that are ironed out. There's still no single-player immersive career mode or anything. All that's coming soon. But in terms of the racing experience and also the online ranking system and everything, yes, it is. It's very, very difficult to beat. So it's right up there. So at the moment, I'm just trying to get a little bit warmed up and kind of get a feel for this car. I am using a Go setup as well for this race, and there's an affiliate link in the description if you're interested in looking at Go setups and want to support us in the process. So do check that out if you want to get some decent, well, very fast setups for LMU for these open setup races like this one. Terj asked, yeah, you've seen it, 2.4 hours, yes. So that's, what, 144 minutes? Need to remember, because I've been doing some laps offline, I need to remember that I'm actually in an online server right now, so I shouldn't just crash into GT3 cars. Push them out of the way. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a sort of, it's somewhere in the middle, that was close, in terms of endurance and sprint. It's a 2 hour and 25-minute race. It's quite a long stint as a driver, so it will feel like quite a long race for me. But in the grand scheme of things, it's still a kind of sprint event. You know, there's not 24 hours to not make a mistake. There's, 2.5 hours. Now, I'm going to approach this a bit like an endurance race just because I think there's going to be rain. There's definitely rain in the forecast. And I haven't done any wet running. I don't think I've ever done a wet race in the LMP2 or a wet race at Le Mans, La Sarthe, ever in this game. So that's one reason to take it a little bit cautiously. And secondly, I just think it's going to be a little bit of a battle of attrition. Like, I think mistakes are going to happen. I think I'm not in the zone enough. You might see I've got a rookie badge on LMU because I've not been doing much at all this year, just with everything else that we're doing at Traction. So I'm going to be on the kind of, let's say, cold side. Don't think I'm going to be driving at my absolute best, but obviously the plan is to warm into it and just see what we can do. So I kind of feel like I'm going to play the longish game here, try and keep it nice and steady, keep it on the road, avoid lockups, avoid flat spots. We only have 10 tyres for this event, so I don't think I'm going to be able to take brand new tyres at every pit stop, for instance. I still need to kind of work that stuff out, but hopefully Oz will be able to offer a little bit of assistance there. We need to see how the tyre wear is and what the options are, but I'm probably going to have to, at some point, put my quali tyres on for the race, maybe even start the race on my quali tyres, or put on wets, which is going to throw everything up in the air. So it's very, very difficult to know how this is all going to pan out. Terj says LMP2 is the hardest car in LMU. I don't know. I really like it. Is it? I don't know. It must. Well, everyone's different, right? For me, the GT3 is the hardest car, not because it's the hardest to keep on the road, but to me, it's the hardest to be fast in. But
I mean, I've never properly driven in one alternate, so I have no opinion.
That's an opinion in itself. Yeah, I've
driven it loads in iRacing, however, and I bloody love it there.
Yeah, it is a cool car. A cool category. I think I just like that it's kind of a raw racing car. There's not really much compromise. Really fun to throw around. All sorts of stuff. So I very much enjoy the LMP2. We've completed one lap.
Would you say you're happy with that time?
What, 3:40.7?
Yeah,
Probably not.
probably not.
Are you doing some calculations for race pace? Is that why?
I am indeed.
Go with 3:38 or something. 3:39, 3:38, something like that. Based on that
3:38.
lap, I think a fast, clean lap is going to be a 3:38 or something. But in the race, I'll probably be a little slower because there'll be traffic, but I might get faster as I get more up to speed. So, yeah. Ooh, it's much more difficult without ABS and TC. There is traction control in the LMP2. But, yeah, without the ABS, it's tricky. It's very easy to lock up. But then the hypercar also doesn't have ABS. Interesting. Terj is on board with my idea. Good idea. Take it nice and easy. Ludicrous Fool, yes. The old Le Mans configuration with no... It's not the old configuration. Or, sorry, it's the new Le Mans circuit, but in the old configuration. So, yes, you can do no chicane version of Le Mans, which is epic. I've not raced on it yet, but it's amazing. But obviously, it's not an old... It would be cool if we had also an old, like, classic layout. Classic tracks and classic cars. Imagine that on LMU. It would just be incredible. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I would have to agree, Terj, that you can lose the LMP2 quite easily. Once it goes, you've had it. Oz, the session is just starting now, so I'm going to join the event once it lets me. There we go. Join event. So then hopefully you should be able to join relatively soon.
Yeah, it says join event for me. I don't know if that will register as being an engineer, but I'll jump in anyway.
Yeah, I've invited you as an engineer, so hopefully it just works, because you've not signed up for the event, right? So you should... The fact if there's a join button now when you haven't registered and picked a car, then it will be an engineer.
Cool, that's good.
Cam makes a very good point. I was thinking, Cameron, if I was going to do the hypercar, because I mean, I literally decided whether I was going to go hyper or LMP2 about 25, 30 minutes before we went live. And someone had suggested Glickenhaus on the YouTube community tab, so I was tempted by that, just to try and get a few scalps in the Glickenhaus, but I didn't think I was good enough or in the zone enough with Le Mans Ultimate to justify a sort of giant killing race. I was worried that I would not going to be quick enough in the split I'm in to actually be competitive, because I will not be at the top of my own level, if that makes sense. So then I was thinking, the 963 is a good one, because last year at Le Mans when I was there, Kevin Estre was the driver of the race. He was phenomenal, and they were so unlucky not to win. I think that Porsche could have definitely won it. And also, because there's no 963 anymore, because it's not going to be at Le Mans again, and it's not going to be in the WEC again, at least. Then now it's a classic car, right? So I was thinking, if I was going to go hypercar, I was swaying towards the 963. Yeah, I don't have the hat. I don't know, Terj. If you're hot lapping, I'm sure the Mulsanne would be, or the chicaneless Mulsanne would be boring for sure. But in a racing situation with slipstreaming, and I think it's just time to breathe. And for me, streaming actually is great, because it's time to look at numbers on fuel, to change pit menus, to check the chat, all that kind of stuff. Whereas I'm going to have to be a bit more cautious with this one.
Yeah, for the real race, it's going to be extremely dangerous. Not only will the cars be going at a fastest pace, but the engines will be massively hot as well.
Yes and no. Because
you might have cars slowing down on the straight,
yeah,
and leading to crashes. If something unfortunate happens.
Yeah. The only reason I'm not sure about that is when you're driving at a faster speed, depending on the configuration with the engine and how much air you're getting in, it can actually cool the car down. Just getting more air in. It could be cooler driving faster in a straight line because you're just getting more and more airflow. Whereas when you're going slowly or stationary with the engine running, that's when the heat gets really bad.
But would you have more heat going into the engine, coming out from the engine when it's on the red line limit, like for about 30 seconds?
Quite possibly.
Probably even more.
We're in split 1.
And then, beautiful.
Am I the only rookie?
And
No,
then,
I'm not the only rookie.
And then say say if there's a, what was it? What was his name? Who flipped the car?
Dumbreck, Peter Dumbreck.
Sorry, whose car flipped? Yeah. Imagine if that happens, but at 300 miles an hour, or however fast it was going, or however fast you can go at that speed.
Yeah. Yes. Quite terrifying. A lot of air.
Very lots of air, yeah.
I have 10 tires to work with here, so in terms of pit stop strategy and stuff like that, I can take, if I start on my qualifying tires, I can take a full set of new tires at one point, I can take 2 other tires other than that, and that's it. So, depending on how many stops I make, I might have to kind of double stint tires a little bit, which is kind of scary. But we can work that out on the fly. Yeah, it'll be fine. Now, I think my rear tires are going to wear more than my front tires.
Mm-hmm.
So with that in mind, maybe make a little note somewhere. I've got 10 tires in total. I don't think I've got 10 tire sets. I've got 10 tires. So maybe note it down somewhere. My qualifying set is obviously the first 4. I think I'll probably use the qualifying tires to start the race, but it's maybe worth just noting down what I can potentially do strategy-wise with 6 tires that I've got left after that. Thinking as well, it's possibly going to rain, so there is a chance of going to wets, but obviously I don't want to just bank on that, you know?
Or I can change your tyres, I can change your wing, I can change your grille.
Oh, you can do the whole thing.
Change your front left pressure. Yeah. I can replace your brakes.
Oh, don't do that. Please don't do that. Right, I'm going to go out in my first set of tires. In qualifying, I've got 2 laps of fuel. I'm just going to go out in a set of tires, try not to lock them up, because I don't want to ruin them for the race, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just see what happens. I might get 4 laps of qualifying, actually. 12 minutes, because I've got the out lap as well. I'll just take more fuel, just to be safe. It might not be the fastest way of doing it, but hey, I just need to get a banker in. All right. It is private qualifying, guys.
You have 25 litres of fuel when you leave the pits.
Perfect. So I've got a third of a tank. Exactly a third of a tank. Now, cold tyres. Going straight off onto the curb. I need to look after these. That's the thing. Obviously, when you're just doing qualifying normally, you absolutely rag it, and it doesn't really matter. Whereas there are consequences here. Every bit of wear I put in these tyres is going to cost me. So we'll take it nice and easy. Get some heat in them on the out lap. And then I need to kind of do a banker quali lap, and then slightly faster. But what I don't want to do is end up having a big rear snap and a big spin and then get massive flat spots. Yes, happy Friday, LMU. Rookie John is in the server. It's going to take me a while to shed my rookie badge because I'm not a regular enough player in any games to do however many races in a couple of weeks, just with the nature of what we do. So I am a rookie. I feel like a rookie, to be honest. I feel very unprepared, as I often do, unless I spend lots of time practicing and doing pit stop entries and all that. So I will make stupid mistakes. I'm just gonna have to try and be a little bit cautious, survive. We're in the top split as well, so no mercy. It's the fastest LMP2 drivers.
So wet tyres do not count for the max 10 tyres.
Okay. That's good to know.
Someone just said in the chat, in the game chat.
So once.
Oh no, I called it a game.
Oh no, don't say that. It's a simulation.
My game has crashed, however.
All is won or lost in T1. Yeah, thanks, Mark. Hopefully you're able to get back in the weather.
Yeah, it should be alright.
I just had a big FFB spike. I'm so glad I looked back at the screen there. There's a question there from Motorman. That's actually really interesting because I was literally playing around with this today. So, if there are red spikes in your FFB, if you can, you try and increase the maximum newton meters of force available on your wheelbase in your wheelbase software. It depends on what wheelbase you've got, but essentially, like, what you want to do is you want to lower the overall strength in the game and increase the maximum available strength of your wheelbase. So, for example, with my Simucube, right? If I have force feedback on Le Mans Ultimate set to 100% strength, and then I set my maximum Simucube one to 12 newton meters, I will get force feedback spiking because I'm essentially telling LMU to give me all of the signal, and then I'm on a multiplier basis limiting that through my Simucube software. The best thing to do is to set the Simucube software for me to all the way to the top, which is 25 newton meters, and then set Le Mans Ultimate's force feedback strength to 50%. So I'm essentially, LMU is holding back, which gives it room to have big spikes and kind of go over the top. But my own wheelbase, therefore, is not limited at all. It can still go up to 25 newton meters, so it will let me have those spikes, but the overall kind of general strength is a lot lower. So that's what I would say to do, if you can. It might, if you're running a kind of lower powered wheelbase and you're maxed out, unfortunately there's no real way to avoid that clipping. It's just force feedback clipping is what it is. But if you can, increase the maximum newton meter limit on your steering wheel software and decrease the percentage power in Le Mans Ultimate. Hopefully that makes sense. Right, I've still not got hot tires for this lap, but we're just going to get a banker lap in for this first one. I've done no quali runs or anything, so obviously I'm very, very cold in terms of speed and where to push and stuff, so we're not going to really worry about that too much. I am in split one, so I'm expecting some very fast qualifying runs from others. This car is also less stable than it normally would in other circuits because I'm running one wing at Le Mans, of course. I am on Simucube 3 Pro at the moment, Mark. So this is my first full week of testing with everything running well on Simucube 3 and proper Le Mans Ultimate. So this race is actually going to be quite telling. Are you enjoying yours so far, Mark? Are you having any issues? I know there's been a few people having some issues. We obviously got a kind of pre-release unit way back in the day, but this was when there was quite a few teething troubles, and to be honest, it just didn't quite feel ready. So I've been in touch with Simucube quite a lot since then, just trying to iron out any of the kind of pre-release issues that have already been solved now. And yeah, I've got it all working really nicely now. But we'll talk all about that in our Simucube 3 review. Okay, I can definitely brake way later into these corners, but as I say, I'm just getting a banker in at the moment. I am getting these weird big force feedback spikes on the straight at the moment, which I didn't get in the kind of practice server, but I don't think that's to do with the wheelbase. I think that's maybe just to do with CPU and stuff. But I will keep an eye on it, of course. Ooh. Whoa, this quali setup is very light. Like, it's flighty, it's fast, but it's quite scary. Excellent, Mark. I'm just using a custom profile, so I've got all of the damping and all of that stuff turned off. Maybe I've got a little bit of damping, I can't remember, but everything else is turned off. I'm also not running telemetry force feedback in Le Mans Ultimate. I like it in some games, like it in iRacing to a degree, but didn't find it helpful in Le Mans Ultimate. Okay, we're still valid for a banker. Thank you, Cameron. Coming up to the Indianapolis sweepers. Or Arnage sweepers, sorry.
You're in the red gate curves.
so I'm not fully committed. We'll go a little bit harder on this next lap. You can see the rear tyres already wearing more than the fronts. It was a pretty clean lap though, to be honest. A couple of little snaps of oversteer. Nothing crazy. 3:39.1. But we have time on the table. It looks like everyone's in the same boat, just treating it as a little bit of a warm-up lap. Whoa, that was scary. Okay, better. Warmer tyres. We're having plenty of conversations in the chat, which you guys can't see because it's underneath my face. But people asking for whether start on quali tyres and all that sort of stuff. Of course, it's same challenges for everyone. Third on the grid at the moment though, so that's a good start. Not good in there. It's going to be the biggest grid I've ever been at Le Mans with as well in LMU, so it's going to be a challenge on hardware, but I've done what I can to prepare the PC essentially. Couldn't see the... Oh, I was trying to get that curb, but I couldn't see it because of the sun. Not ideal. Extra safe on the way in there. Too early on the brakes, but we're still 7/10ths up. On this quali setup, without the practice, I have to say, Indianapolis scares me. The thought of going into Indianapolis committed is a bit terrifying. So we're still going to take it. We're just going to err on the side of get the lap in.
62 cars in this grid. Just a question that Andy asked in the chat.
Thank you for that. Right, Porsche Curves last time was not too bad, so try and do something similar. Then we're going to get one more lap to put in, but again, don't want to ruin the tyres. If this one's good, that's at least a banker in.
Oh,
I think I'll get away with it.
nicely saved.
Not good for the tyres.
Yeah.
We're still valid though. Ooh, not tight enough through that last chicane, but still going to be a better lap. There's the improvements from everyone else. We've gone third though, 3:37.8. Right, one last lap, Oz.
So you're averaging around 6.3 litres per lap. So you've got plenty of fuel on board.
Purple sector 1. If that's all we get, I'll take it. How are tyres looking now? 97, 96, 95. P1's crossed the finish line. No, no. Save the tires. Oh, no. That's exactly what I didn't want to do with the tires. I tried. Just a bit too committed in there.
Because you had your beams on.
It's all the fault of the lights. Oh, I'm so sorry, tires. I've let you down. Do you know what? It was the glory. It was the 4/10 off pole, purple in sector 1. So, no, it's not good. It's not good. I'm gonna need these tires. So maybe I just do the first stint on these, get through them, survive them, because then we'll not use them again. We'll just sacrifice them for that. What I'm worried about is if I take a new set, I don't know if I can get these 4 tires back later in the race, if that makes sense. So I don't want to give away a set that has 96 in the fronts, 93 and 89. Maybe... Oh, do I take 1 new rear? I don't think that's a safe idea.
Well, this spreadsheet is saying that you've got 4 laps to... fuel pit stops to make. So you've got plenty of size.
4 stops to make?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've only got, what, 6 tires? So that's 1.5 sets of tires to put on?
Oh, I thought you had 10 sets. Sorry.
No, it's 10 tires, individual tires. So I've only got 6 new ones left. Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Which is why I said the key was to not do what I just did. Oh, classic. Anyway, tell you what, everyone else has got checkered flag. We're third. We're third in qualifying. I wanted to keep driving to practice the pit lane entry, but you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stop everyone else in the pits, and I'll practice pit lane entry on pit stop 1. It'll be fine. And I'll just deal with my worn first set and hope that it rains at the right moment.
You're about 8 tenths away from 4th place, so you're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I think I've got 2 fast drivers in front of me. And then I'm maybe hanging onto their coattails, but I don't want to push too hard to stick with them because I will die. And then I've got, it's the cars behind me. I seem to have a little gap on at the moment, but I'm not going to take anything from qualifying because I know how easy it is to mess up qualifying. Like that might not be the true pace, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're sticking on our quality tires, guys. I'm just going to have to cope with my flat spots and stuff because I caused them. It's my fault. And yeah, this is it. Wish me luck. Basic Ollie in the GT3, is he? Is he in this split? Yeah. He's in the McLaren. Let's not kill him. Ideally, let's not kill anyone, to be quite honest. I'm going to have... Because I've got that rookie badge, I'm going to be seen as like a liability, probably. Okay. I'm going to have to deal with my worn tyres. Pit strategy, I keep forgetting those. You can do a lot of this stuff, which is cool. But the first stop, I'm definitely going to want new tyres. But maybe just new rears.
Oh, do you have your race set up?
Yes. Thankfully. We'll see how my fronts are at the pits, but it might be that we just take new rears and take 2 tyres, because that's going to be how we manage this potentially. Yep. So at the moment, I'm going to take full fuel, I'm going to take no change fronts, and I'm going to take new rears. Let's catch up though, because I don't want to get a penalty for infringements here. Get the relative up. Right, get your predictions in, guys. Where am I going to finish in class? Am I going to finish? That's the tricky one, yes or no. Because it is going to be a big challenge for me, this. I feel it is a bit of a... It feels like a warm-up race, where the kind of race that I would do to prepare for another race. But as I said it in qualifying and then didn't do it, which is typical me behavior, but it's about playing the long game. It's about looking after the car. I know that I always say that and then it goes wrong, or I attempt fate a little bit, but I will try my best. Good afternoon, Roy. P7 on wets. Yeah, P7's taking the wrong tyres. That's a real shame. I've heard the flooding is really bad up north. I'm a bit scared. I did get a drive-through last time I did a rolling start on LMU, didn't I? Right, here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
Cold tires, of course. Can have it if you want. Sorry if you're slower than me and I'm just gonna get held up now, but I'm not gonna risk it on this first lap. I'm getting a few kind of slight stutters as well. Force, and that was close, and it is affecting the force feedback when I get those micro stutters. So I'm playing it extra cautious. I don't want to end the race on lap 1 because of a weird sort of force feedback rush. Unfortunately, you see that kind of the car moving just a little bit forwards and backwards on the radar. Yeah, I need to be careful here, guys, because of just struggling for performance. Seems to be an LMU or a Le Mans circuit specific issue as well. No matter how much I turn down settings and graphics and things like that, I just seem to... That happens, the stuttering. But I've not done a big full race grid on La Sarthe other than offline, so I thought it was maybe an offline only issue, but you can see it happening straight away in this race.
I've car behind you.
Yeah, cheers, Oz. I just saw the Cadillac at the last second, and also saw an LMP2 going off in front of me.
He's probably going to make the overtake here.
I'm hoping that once the field spreads out a little bit, the stutters and the FFB weirdness will calm down a bit. It's nothing to do with visible vehicles though, because I've got the max visible vehicles is set to about 15 maybe? Right. Oh. What?
What the hell even happened there?
I just Peter Dumbrecked.
Called it.
On my screen, at least.
Yeah, what the hell? I'm watching the replay. It doesn't make any sense.
My wipers have come on. I didn't turn them on. Oh, it's raining, that's why. Can I go now? No, one more coming. I'm going to quickly spin across the road. Oh. My God. What on earth just happened?
Well, we're going to have to put that in a short and put the original commentary over that. You see there, the Toyota. Oh my God! Oh God!
And the Mercedes has taken off. Right. Maybe we're going to do some daily racing instead? I'm going to get to the pits and see what happens. But I've got big damage. Do you think it was the jittery cars that caused it? It's probably... I was having that kind of CPU-ish issue, and I'm wondering if someone's just essentially jittered into me there.
I think it was that guy behind you, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's just...
I mean, he didn't... Yeah, he didn't actually touch you, but it looks like the type of netcode that you get from iRacing, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But...
Wild. Absolutely wild.
It's very hard to tell.
Well, I'm going to take wets, but as I say, this is the first time I've done a Le Mans race with a big full grid online. Now, when I do offline races at Le Mans, I have in the past had issues with full grids. But I've been fine. I was fine when I was testing it. Like when I did those few laps before this, for example, it was absolutely fine. It just seems to be like some sort of bottleneck somewhere where it can't cope with that many cars at the same time at this circuit for whatever reason. I've had like slight issues in the past, but they've been kind of ironed out or fixed. But I don't know what's causing this one, but it does. I mean, it clearly isn't great. Let's just see what the repair is out of interest. What are my tires like? I'm going to take my time here. I'm probably not going to do this race, guys. I mean, you can see why. But I just want to see if I take wets because it's raining. Let's just see what the repairs are. 29 seconds. I don't think it's going to repair the whole car, though. Are you just watching it over and over again?
I am. I watched it from the guy behind you. You just hop and then fly out of their view. Funny.
Oh no. From my perspective, that must be like how it feels to be Mark Webber or Peter Dumbreck.
Yeah.
Like because I have no idea what happened. I was just in the air and I was waiting to land. Oh my goodness. I want to see how much it repairs of the car anyway. And you know it's raining, so I've put wets on, even though it's probably still too dry for them. I had to make a decision. I mean, it has fully repaired the car.
See, I initially thought that you were lagging, because that's exactly what happens in iRacing as well. They just randomly fly up in the air. I don't know if you've ever seen that before. They just randomly fly up in the air and then return back to the ground.
I've seen that in many games. Is it going to rain hard enough? We've still got... Not yet, no. It's raining, but it's not wet yet. The thinking was there, by the way. I was like, my only chance at this point, if it's going to fix the car and everything, is to do something bold. But yeah, look, I've got these big force feedback spikes, so I'm not... There's no point. Even just through that corner there, I was really struggling. So I think I'm going to pull over and do some daily races instead, guys. I don't want to just end the stream, you know?
Yeah, bugger. I'm going to jump off of that in that case.
Yeah, you can go and clip that up if you want.
Yeah, I've got some stuff.
Our editor is cooking up a recipe right now. Anyway. It happens. Hey! Good thing I didn't do too much practice and prep, eh? That's it. If you prepare to fail, it doesn't hurt as bad when you fail. There's your life lesson. Just as it was going to get spicy. Yeah, I'll save the replay so we can go look at the replay. But this is the thing that makes it difficult. The reason I'm kind of saying that I am not going to just blame the game for this, or sorry, that's not a way of putting it. I'm not going to put it down to like netcode and server issues straight away, even though it looks like it could be, because as I say, I have that. There's a familiar issue for me with the stutter and the slowdown almost. In single player, it's like you slow down compared to everyone else, but obviously online that doesn't work because everyone is sending data live, so you don't have this sort of slowdown of AI cars or speed up of AI cars compared to you. That issue feels so familiar to what sometimes happens or used to happen prominently offline. Tells me that it's not an online server issue. It's a my game running on my PC issue. Now, I've lowered all the graphics to a nice point. I have also done the recommended changes from Le Mans Ultimate on Discord for allowing basically more memory to be taken up by the PC and kind of prepared for it in that way, but it clearly hasn't worked fully. So it definitely could be CPU related. It definitely could be. But I don't know. I've also spent... The issue was worse when it was fine before version 1.0. Then we got a review code for 1.0, and I mentioned it in the review. It was one of the negatives as part of the review, was because obviously we can only review what we're given, right? And I was experiencing quite severe issues on certain tracks, and they fixed that about a week after the game launched, and it was much, much better. It's clearly not fully fixed, but it was improved a lot. So it was something to do with like, I think they said it was something to do with the wheelbase software talking to the game a certain way, causing some issues. So it's really tricky for me to know. Like, is it my CPU? Is it the wheelbase software? Is it LMU? Is it a relationship between these three things? Is it nothing to do with one of them? Yeah, it's tricky. We'll watch the replay, though. Okay, okay, other people have issues. It is CPU related. Try lowering the audio effects and quality settings. Yeah. We can try that. I feel like I already have done a lot of this stuff. I basically, I might not have done that, though. 64, I'm pretty sure. 64 is not the maximum, is it? Yeah, so I already had it down to 64. Yeah, so I've already done that. Basically, I spent 2 days troubleshooting it with LMU. So, first of all, the LMU team are incredible. Really good bunch of people, very knowledgeable, very much always on the case, wanting to help, and they're great. I spent a few days back and forth with them, really desperately trying to help me find out what the issue was. But this was like when we were reviewing the game a long, long time ago. And as I say, they found that issue and solved it apparently, and it was a lot better after the review. So like a week after the game was released, this is just like a small bit of that issue coming back. So yeah, the CPU, the specs are in the description. No, I don't have that open. I don't know. I close all the other programs and stuff before these races just to make sure. So I do my best to give myself the best opportunity. We can do some daily races though, guys. I don't want to just leave you there with a lap 1 disaster. So we'll have a look at what's on. You've got 39 minutes till the 1 stint sprint at Sebring. We've got a Circuit of the Americas ELMS Sprint Trophy. That's a scary one to jump into. We could do a GT3 Bahrain Outer, which is just going to be chaos. Oh, right, here we go. We can stick to our LMP2 because we've got an ELMS Silverstone prototype fixed race in 34 minutes. That gives me a bit of time to prep for it as well. So I can actually try and get up to speed and see if we can get a good result. And that time will fly by. So, I'm just looking at some of these chats as well. Yeah, sell some RAM and buy a stronger CPU. It's an Alienware box, so it's not easy to make individual changes. But yeah, we'll look into it.
I mean, you've got plenty to sell.
Lots of RAM to sell.
Yeah.
Just to make it a little clearer, guys, as to why I have a ridiculous amount of RAM randomly. This PC I bought as a whole PC. It was essentially a broadcast PC. So this was a PC that was spec'd up to be a sim racing esports broadcast PC. So that's why certain elements are overkill and other elements are potential bottlenecks. So, but it's still, I mean, it was very high spec. Oh, it's going to be raining at Silverstone. Cloudy and rain. Okay, let's get in there and practice that then. It's, of course, the ELMS spec LMP2 car as well. So we'll stick to the 18 IDEX Sport. Oh, sorry, guys. I was going to look at the replay. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'll go look at the replay. And then we'll go and practice. Sorry, I forgot. I was literally going to do it, and then I was distracted myself by all the chat. It's John here, and Osley's here at the moment. Osley's multitasking because he's no longer engineering the race that ended on lap 1. But hello to you. Yeah, this is the thing with PCs, isn't it? They're so expensive, and you go, right, I've got the top of the range, really good spec, more than enough, and then years later, everything just keeps moving, and before you know it, it's old. But PCs are so expensive, like it's not that straightforward. If you have to spend $3,000, I'm not saying you do, obviously, but if you want to keep up to date, if you spend, say, $3,000 on a new PC for a high-spec PC once every 5 years, that's still 600 quid a year. It's quite a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Yeah. LMU on consoles, assuming it's optimized well and it runs at a smooth 60, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good for console players. They're going to absolutely love it. Hopefully with more features by that point. We get plenty of hardware for reviews and things like that over time, but the thing is, hardware reviews are incredibly difficult to produce compared to a lot of other things that we do. So we do have a lot of written reviews on the website. We obviously do the occasional video review on the YouTube channel for hardware and stuff like that, but ultimately unfortunately we just cannot do everything. We really can't. I mean, you should see what you never see behind the rig over that side of the camera. There are lots of boxes of things that just there's nowhere to put them. Right, we'll go look at the replay. I literally joined a practice session that's got 50 seconds to go, so that was a total waste of time anyway. So that makes me feel better. Let's go have a quick look at the replay just to see what it shows up as. I'm looking forward to watching the replay back of the live incident, because obviously I experienced it in person as you did once, but then you guys could go back and watch it. I've never seen. I mean, obviously it was because it wasn't actually a natural like Dumbreck-esque crash, but it felt like it from my perspective. Like, I don't think imagine in a sim just experiencing like a full, and some of you may have done this, and I've done it on like Project Cars 2 at Bannock Brae, where there's like a big jump, or the Nordschleife, for instance, but like driving along the Mulsanne and just getting a bit of air under the car and it just fully lifting, it'd be wicked to experience. So if Le Mans Ultimate includes classic content like the CLR, it would be really cool if that was simulated. Just saying. I know they've flattened the straights a bit so that doesn't happen, for safety reasons, of course, but they also changed the cars to try and help them prevent that happening. So with a classic car, it'd be really cool to see if you could manage to do it. The Orica's taken off. I could do Sebring in 40 minutes. We'll see how the Silverstone grid size is. But yeah, I could also do Sebring. I love Sebring, and I need less practice at Sebring because I know what I'm doing there. I don't know what I'm doing, but I can get up to speed quicker. Yes.
Did you record yourself saying Orica? I want to put it when he says the Mercedes.
Okay. Am I doing that right now, Oz? Let me mute the music. You can take this from the stream.
Oh,
right?
I don't have. You can keep the music on.
Oh,
just record you
on Discord.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to do a full The Mercedes is taken off, but with Orica. The Orica has taken off.
And now can you just say Orica, but really blunt?
Orica.
Brilliant. Thank you.
So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how myself and Osley produce traction videos. He just tells me what to say, in what accent or in what style, and you have a traction video. We are loading up the replay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we don't have Road Atlanta on this track, but on other sims, yes. Yannick Dalmas. But there was also the kind of more forgotten one, Bill Oberlin. So Bill Oberlin in the BMW LMR also had a air-based flip in 1999, Petit Le Mans, pretty sure. And that one's kind of forgotten about a little bit. The Dalmas one was the big one. It was just it's not even a trait of that car class. It was just that era and the aerodynamics at the time, with the uplift. But clearly, because the BMW LMR was very different to the CLR and the 911 GT1. It was just a flaw that had been sort of exposed, let's say. Wow, I'm so annoyed. We qualified third in the top split in LMP2 for that race. I was really excited to give that a good go and see if we could get a podium and everything. So as much as obviously I'm laughing, and that was a hilarious way to go out of a race, let's be real. Also, it was just desperately disappointing. Okay. Oh, I've just seen the replay for the first time from TV camera.
Oh, nice.
It's not even a car behind me, or it's the car beside me, surely.
It is, yeah.
Oh no, it is. Okay.
Yeah, have a look at it from their perspective as well.
That's so funny. Okay, so it is the car that was kind of beside me that just came across. I'm not. There's absolutely zero blame here. Just let me be very clear. That's so funny though. Let's go on board then. Do you know what it is?
You know what I mean? You just hop and you just disappear.
It's the engine sounds. Have you done it with the sound on?
No, because I've just been in this chat with you.
Right, guys, I'm gonna mute my mic. Right, I'm gonna mute the music. Just have a listen and a watch of this, because the fact that my car essentially screams when it flies up in the air is just. I'm gonna rewind it further. Right. Ready for some entertainment? Oh, so good.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I've never seen anything like it. I thought it was going to look more glitchy than it does. But, I mean, I know it looks glitchy, right? But, I mean, it also... The actual flip and stuff looked awesome. Like, I know there's no roof damage
Can you
and,
send me,
you know...
Can you send me the replay as well?
Yeah, I can. Oh, there's an Elf Renault livery on the LMP2. That's really cool. What a way to go. I must go. My planet needs me. I want to watch it from a car further back, actually, as well. Let's just. We're on the replay. Let's make the most of it. It's back the way, isn't it? Oh no, it's that way. How did this look like from behind? Oh, this is making me laugh so much. I've never seen anything like it. They must have been just thinking, what on earth? Oh, very close to some big crashes as well. Wow. Wow. Big avoidances.
Wasn't that pretty much in this, near the same spot where Peter had
It was, yeah. It was literally just before the
That's
kink.
so weird.
Hilarious. Yes, it was. Zurumaru. It was, so the CLR's flip, I'm pretty confident. Hang on. So there's two kinks, right? There's this is one main kink. There's this kink. Now, actually, was the CLR the first kink or the second kink? I think it was the second kink because the speed was higher. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure. But I think the CLR flipped. So I flip there. But I think the CLR flips around about here. But I'm not 100% on it. Wow. I think I did I mean, I did nothing other than take my hands off the wheel because I did not want force feedback injuries. But I tried to, like, when I had a little bit of control, I just tried to kind of steer it slightly towards the wall and keep it in the wall with the brake and everything. Not that I mean, I literally was completely out of control and I was hands off the wheel, but I tried to, there with the brake hold and stuff, just to try and not wipe out anyone else, because that could have been the biggest multiple car accident as well. There you go, yeah. So you can see, like, my reaction there. So I'm hands off the wheel, as you can see, no inputs. And then at this point here, I'm just foot on the brake, just to try and stop the car kind of sliding faster, make it a little bit more predictable. I did kind of cause a smoke screen, but well done. I mean, massive credit to everyone for avoiding that, because that was, yeah, massive accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, good thing it happened there, not like just before Indianapolis, because they wouldn't have been able to dodge you in time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it would have been funny.
Yeah.
Not for everyone who's practiced a lot. Yeah, the race is already over, Sander. I would recommend going back in the stream and watching that back, because that was a unique way to go out of a race. Yeah. Injuries, yeah. DD Force, do you know, it is ludicrous, fool. It really is. It can be. I've never injured myself with direct drive. I've hurt, like, I've knocked my knuckles and stuff. I've scratched myself. I've never hurt myself. But the thing is, and there are safety measures you can put in place to prevent injuries by preventing certain levels of feedback and inertia stuff. But what can happen is if you hit a wall a certain way or there's a sharp force feedback and a strong wheel, it can like either you can catch your finger in it if you don't let go and it flings back and forth too quickly. And obviously when you're in a glitch-based crash, things like that can happen. So you can damage your fingers. You can also damage your wrists if you're not careful. I was doing a race a while back. I can't remember if it was... No, there was someone who I was racing with that seriously hurt their finger. Or their wrist while I was on the chat with them. In fact, there's two instances. I think Jensen once hurt his foot. He didn't injure himself badly, but he was like, he couldn't drive for half an hour. And there was one with a friend of mine, Matt, who, I think it was Matt anyway, like 5 years ago. This was because he was one of the early adopters of a strong force feedback wheel, more than 5 years ago actually. I've lost track of time. He hurt himself quite badly, I seem to remember. It can happen, basically what I'm trying to say. I've never done it. You got a drive-through for avoiding it. Oh, that's not fair. I'm so sorry for ruining your... Oh, no, wait, this is not you. This is not my race, sorry. This is your own story. Something like this happened in my race during the formation lap. Ah, okay. The leader lagged and appeared right through the car next and flipped in the air, and you got a drive-through. Oh, that's such a shame. Sorry, I thought you meant in the race I was just in. One stint sprint at Sebring would be really good. We could do a hypercar stint at Sebring, or we do the Silverstone prototype fixed. Let's do the LMS. Let's go for it. There's going to be a bit of rain, which always kind of throws up some excitement, but there's enough people registered for this where it should be good. And we'll decide what happens after that. But I've not yet on this channel raced or streamed Le Mans Ultimate at Silverstone, just because we did a lot of our Le Mans Ultimate streams before the LMS pack stuff started coming out, and we obviously covered it in a video. We went down, I actually drove to Silverstone. Oz was there as well, and Tom. But I drove to Silverstone to try Silverstone on Le Mans Ultimate in the LMP3, and then drove home the same day. So that was like I'm in Glasgow, so it's around about a 14-hour round trip or something like that. And then we got home, and then Oz started editing the video and realised that we hadn't recorded the audio properly. So it was like, yeah, that was a bigger disaster than this Le Mans race, just saying. Oz starts editing the video, like, remember that day yesterday where you got up at 6 in the morning, drove to Silverstone, and we all went to Silverstone and produced a video. You forgot to get the mics recording properly, because I hadn't done a backup recording of them, and I think we'd both, while setting up the cameras, done something. I can't remember the circumstances, but either way, it was like, normally we have a failsafe, and the one time where we needed a failsafe because something else had gone wrong, I'd forgotten to record a failsafe. So, thankfully, we saved
Lessons
it.
learned, though.
Lessons learned, definitely. But if you watch that Silverstone video, we did mention it in the video, actually. I think the intro was all about that. But thankfully, when I filmed that video, it was in a small gap between sessions out on circuit, so the cars were really, really loud, and it would have ruined the audio unless we had the good mics on, which obviously didn't record. However, because the cars were, I think it was a red flag or something while I recorded, the camera's inbuilt microphone actually picked up my audio well enough that Oz could then do a lot of audio work on it and just about make it legible. So we got something out of it at least.
Could you send me the replay now, if you're able to?
Absolutely. Sorry, I once again forgot.
That's all right.
So, excuse me 2 seconds, guys, on the stream. I'm just going to get this file for Oz.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Yeah, I've got the audio downloaded, ready to go.
Sweet. Just need to find the replay files. The replays are in a different place, aren't they, for Le Mans Ultimate? Oh, there we are. Got them. Right. I think this is the file we need, so I'm going to send it to you on... It's too big for Discord, so I'm going to upload it to our Google Drive.
Good.
It's just in our... It's just in the main big folder where I throw everything.
In
Current... I'll send you a link, actually. It's current working
oh yeah,
files.
I see.
Le Mans Ultimate. Replays, find it again, and... I'm going to guess it's the last race at Circuit De La Sarthe at 1... The replay saved at 1:30 today, so that'll be the one.
Yeah, that'll be it.
Right.
Thank you.
There you go. No worries. Let's get a little bit of practice in then for this race, shall we? Get my chat back up. And then we're going to stick on our... Do we have a setup? Do I have a setup like kicking about? I think I do. Oh, it's fixed setup anyway. Ah well, that makes it easy. Let's just get out there and drive. It is wet, and I think I'm on slick, so everyone... Actually, I've got to put on wets. So we're not really going to get much dry practice in, but we'll get some wet laps in the race. There is going to be rain in the race, so it will still hopefully come in handy. Hey Charlie, how's it going? Sorry I've missed your chat until now. We're just in the middle of a few different things, but I'm good. Despite everything, despite the ordeal I've been through today, along with all of you watching, I'm good.
Right, I'm jumping off. Have a good race.
Cool, thanks Oz. Thanks for all your help, and I'll speak to you later.
See you later. Bye.
Bye. Right, let's get some wet running in then. 15 minutes to go until the session, I think, starts. And it is, of course, not just the LMP2 car, but the ELMS spec of the LMP2 car. And we're up against LMP3s as well in the same server. So it's just trying to get used to this car on wet tyres. Okay, I'm now used to the car on wet tyres. Just, you know, testing the limits, that's all. Oh, that car's gone off as well. That's fine. It's going to be a lot simpler, this one, though. It'll be a sprint race. I don't know how many pit stops, if there's going to be any pit stops, because I didn't check how long the race was, but it's going to be a much more straightforward race than Le Mans. Not really much strategy to think about. Possibly one stop. Fixed setup, so nothing to worry about there. Okay, very low grip on wets. We've just got to be a little bit more careful. I mean, it's not... I don't think it's a really, really wet track. What's the track surface like? It does say wet, overcast and raining, but it doesn't feel... Maybe it's because I've got the graphics turned down in preparation for that Le Mans race, but it doesn't look as wet as it has done in the past. I think it's probably the... Yeah, like I'm really, really struggling for grip, so I'm thinking it's maybe the graphics settings that I took to be safe for Le Mans that are actually making it look a little bit less wet than it is. I might be totally wrong. So we're just using this short space of time in practice to just get a feel for the car and try and build some confidence where I can afford to make mistakes. I can afford to destroy the tyres because they're not going to cost me any sets. Find the limits and then dial it back a little bit. Should we rename the stream? Yeah, probably. Now that I'm out on circuit, I will rename the stream after Ludicrous. Or someone can knock on Ozzy's door, give him a ring, and say, "Oz, could you go and and edit the title of the stream, please?" I'll just rename it. I'm just going to rename it "We Did a Peter Dumbreck," because, you know, that's all you need to know. Thank you for that reminder, though. I never think of renaming the stream when it's on, because I'm obviously, as soon as I set the title and the description, I just leave it, knowing that things don't always go to plan. So anyway, it's Friday today. Let us know your plans for the weekend. Obviously, as a massive motorsport fan, as you guys know I am, I'm going to be watching motorsport as much as doing it this weekend. And to be honest, I'm not going to be driving much at all, because I have music concerts to go to as part of Celtic Connection Festival in Glasgow, which is going to be amazing. But also, from a motorsport perspective, it's Rally Monte Carlo this weekend, which is one of the highlights of the year for me. Absolutely love watching not only the WRC, but Rally Monte Carlo specifically. It's just so good to watch. So I'm going to be catching up with that. There's also the Daytona 24-hour, which I'm sure lots of you guys will be watching. The Rolex 24. So that's something to look forward to. Let's go chasing that 158.4. So it really does feel like the motorsport season's kicking into gear this weekend, essentially. We've obviously got the F1 car launches, which is cool. Or the livery reveals, maybe, is more technically accurate these days. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to get as my status in this game, because since the badge system came in, I think I've done 4 races, and I think only 2 of them have ended well. 2 of them have ended in DNFs, and 2 of them have ended well. And of those, and obviously from that, I mean, the amount of mistakes I made is literally 1. I had 1 DNF, which was my fault. I crashed at Monza on the opening lap with cold rears. I turned into the corner and the rear just snapped in the Aston Martin GT3, which totally caught me off guard. And then obviously that race at Le Mans, I mean, I don't think I did much wrong there. I don't think anyone did. It was just an unfortunate kind of contact glitch, possibly related to my CPU thing. But that probably means that my badge when I get one is probably going to be dangerous driver or something. But it does, I think, calculate it over, I think, is it 10 races? Your last 10 races? So, you know, there's still time for me to fix it. That's unfortunate. Yeah, LMP2, but it's also the it's the ELMS LMP2, so it's the powerful one. And we've got LMP3 cars in the server. We're gonna have rain, maybe it's dry at the start. Who knows? Oofed. Hello. That was unfortunate timing. Might as well get stuck in here though, with the three other cars around me, just to get a feel in the spray. Need to try and find a second or so. Curbs are pretty slippy, but not too bad actually. They're usable. If it helps your line, if that makes sense. If you carry the speed over them and just let a car slide over them, I don't think you lose too much, you know, because you can actually go in a bit more attacking, and yes, you lose it on exit, but you're then straight into another corner, so it depends on where you are, but I don't think the curbs are like a must avoid at all costs type situation. Here as well. Here, you've got to be so careful on the power. Probably too committed into Abbey each time. Gentle on all the inputs. Car behind me is on a really good lap. Yeah, 56.4 someone's done now. Oh, if you just participated in this race, was it this race you just participated in? If it was, give me some, any tips or information about the race that was worth knowing, because I've obviously... Oh no! Don't do that, I guess, is tip 1. I'm jumping into this very cold, so... Not done a lap in the dry yet, so any sort of advice about the race, or if it's going to rain, or anything like that would be awesome. The buzzing sound when we brake, could that be my rig? Could it be a curb? Could it be an ABS rattle? Or not ABS in this car, so it's not that. I'm not sure what a buzz would be under brakes. Conditions are definitely improving, I think, based on all the times we're seeing coming in. Pretty sure Leclerc in front of me is quick. Or maybe it's Daniel Leclerc I'm thinking of, actually. The Leclerc name's always going to be fast. That's just facts. It could also be... Oh, that's someone doing a me. Leclerc doing a John. The vibration sound, it could also be the actual feedback, just as I'm getting the car slowed down. I do sometimes get a small kind of detailed rattle of the surfaces of the tyres gripping up, I think. I'm not quite sure. But obviously the mic can just pick up different things more, like louder or quieter. This is the bit where it's really tricky, because I've done that so many times. I need to go in a bit more careful into that hairpin in the wet. So at least, hey, if it rains, I've got an idea of where it's tricky. I think the last corner is super tricky. Oh, it's a game sound. Charles Picard. It's not Charles Pic, is it? Got a Formula 1 driver's name. Ooh. Four minutes left. Got to use a bit of power to sort of make the most of the aero you've got. Come on, one good lap. Oh, got greedy on the throttle. Very slippy. Oh, basic Google username. Did you realize it's a Formula 1 driver's name? Now that is not a rapid Porsche ahead of me, that is an LMP2 car that's not loaded in. Much better through Abbey. Rain on again, so the track's gonna get worse. Just want to get one good lap in. This is where it keeps going wrong, though. Extra slow. Okay, we're not going to be right on the pace, but we're not going to be terrible either. Second in the server, but obviously people have left, so... Anyway, that's okay. We'll see what the race brings. Pretty sure it starts, like, now. I will change the title of the stream. 32 people registered, which is awesome. So we should be top split of maybe 1. But there's a lot of decent... There's 47 people signed up, actually. But there's a lot of silver 1 and silver 2, which is great for us. So we should have a good battle. How do I feel about the rain on LMU compared to iRacing? Great question. I was mega impressed with the rain's implementation on iRacing when I first tried it. It's phenomenal. I think the car behavior in low grip on LMU feels really good and really natural. I think it's a very solid wet weather implementation on LMU, and I think that it almost feels like they're obviously working to try and emphasize the wet lines a little bit more, and there's tweaks and stuff, but it's such an impossible thing to actually get right. Sorry, I'm just going to rename the stream first. I'm calling it I Did a Peter Dumbreck, Le Mans Ultimate. There we go. Get back on the game. Sorry, it takes a bit of time because I've got it at full screen. Yeah, iRacing for me, I did a video on the Race Anywhere YouTube channel when the iRacing Rain launched, where I tried it out, and I basically used my real world experience in the wet, which, having raced in the UK, is, let's say, existent. Just to see. It's 2 times fuel on this, so it definitely will be at least. It's a 22-minute race, but 2 times fuel, so I'm guessing that's fuel save a little bit. It's a really short race. And yeah, for me, I drove the GR86 around Brands Hatch, and I tried different things with the wet lines, and I tried to sort of drive in a way that I would in real life to maximize the wet weather, and it actually did it really realistically. It wasn't exaggerated either. It wasn't like over the top. You could really perceive within 5 laps of doing like normal racing lines and then wet lines, you could really feel the difference in grip. And also it was realistic in that it wasn't like, oh, just because the wet line is on the outside line is grippiest all the way around. It had kind of ebb and flow to it where, well, in this corner, the outside line's not quicker because the water doesn't collect on the inside, it actually collects more on the outside, or because, this corner, the way that the camber is or the way the drainage is, you're actually much quicker just going for the apex. So it wasn't like unrealistically strong. I just thought they got the balance really nicely, and you could drive faster by exploring, and that's the main thing about proper wet weather. If you can explore and you can feel grip well, and you can just find out on what day, because it's different every single day, the same track, different conditions, different day, can be wildly different. It's where can I find the grip and how do I search for it, and can I feel it when I get there, and therefore, can go faster. And I think that iRacing is just absolutely fantastic for that. I'm really impressed by the wet weather on LMU2. I do think it's... I wasn't really able to test it as extensively, let's say, as iRacing, just because of the car variety. On LMU, you're a little bit more focused on certain GT and prototypes, and whereas on iRacing, you can play around in like a Toyota GT86 and kind of feel that a bit more. But I think they're both really strong. I just would say that iRacing's feels to me a little bit more realistic, or if I had to pick one, I'd pick iRacing's at the moment. But yeah. Yeah, Mark Webber still gets a shout out, but Peter Dumbreck's is the more famous one because there was actually footage of it. Okay, we're in split 1 of 2, so it will be very competitive. Not expecting to be at the front of this grid by any stretch, and it's going to be wet, so stick the wet tyres on and have some fun. Qualifying is how long? 8 minutes, so what's that, 4 flying laps, so 5 out laps, 6, but I also don't want to, it's 2 times fuel, isn't it? And maybe we'll come into the pits for new tyres at some point. Let's stick 35 litres in, which seems like a lot, but it's going to disappear. So we should get our out lap, and then 6 minutes to go, we should get a flying lap with 4 minutes to go, flying lap with 2 minutes to go, flying lap again. Hang on. Out lap. 6 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go, 0 minutes to go. Yeah, we need 6 laps, which is what we've got. All right. Sorry, doing my maths out loud. Looks like we're getting rain all the way through, 100%. So I'm guessing it's going to be wet tyres all the way. Wet track and quali, that's predictable. Let's just get out there and get to the end of pit lane. The lap times are going to be right around 2 minute mark, so we do need to kind of get a crack on if we want to get all the laps in, especially because we're going to go green here just as we approach the line, I would imagine. If we can time this. Let's not risk it. There we go. But yeah, the puddles in LMU aren't as extreme, I don't think, are they? They're not. They don't really act as puddles, and obviously the white lines in the curbs and stuff are slippy, but they're not crazy. And yeah, it almost feels. It feels like how do I explain this? LMU's wet weather to me feels like it's building up gradually and realistically, and it's not getting anything drastically wrong at all. It just wants to make sure that it builds slowly and gets things right and builds up from there. So it might become more realistic and more authentic, but it's not in any way a bad state. You know, some games like try and do everything and it all gets broken, so then they have to dial it back. I think it's better to start with a bit less and then build on it and work up to it in the right way. And I mean, this is me sounding like I'm going very deep into analysis here. You know, I think the rain's really, really good. And I think the main thing about rain for me is it must be like near impossible to actually accurately simulate because there's so many variables. Like, I've said this before whenever we've talked about wet weather on the channel, but I remember doing a wet race at Anglesey once, and I had all the grip in the world, and it was amazing. I was like out qualifying everyone in higher classes. I was like way up the field and doing an amazing, and the car was absolutely on rails. I was even getting tire squeal, and it was soaking wet, and it was just amazing. And I thought, this is it. We found the perfect wet setup. We've got the best wet tires in the world. Everything's amazing. And then I turned up to like Snetterton, and it was wet again, and we had absolutely no grip whatsoever. And we were getting passed by like older, slower cars, and I was fighting every moment to stay on. I was like, what? You know, how does this work? I thought we were amazing in the wet. And it's just because different surfaces make such a big difference. So that's just from track to track, right? That's not like different levels of rain. It's not, you know, simulating in a simulation. Obviously, in real life, you don't have to simulate anything. It just happens. It is what it is. But somehow with simulation, you've got to actually put numbers in and data in order to try and replicate something realistically that in real life has kind of no science. You know what I mean? It's like, it's completely natural. Very, very hard to do, I can imagine. And therefore, you know, kudos to anyone who's got a wet weather system, and especially kudos to those who do it well. iRacing and LMU both in that top category for me of good wet weather implementation, and I'm sure both have ways they can improve. So we have a lot of fuel here, but my thinking is maybe I just do one run. So that's why I've kind of fueled up a bit. And we've got double fuel burn, so it will go down faster than normal. Not great through there, just a little bit too narrow, I think, on the second part. Not expecting another top 3 here in top split qualifying. Focus on the exit. Pretty good lap. Good banker, I'd say. No. Oh, I've gone... Oh, I cut too much. 56.5. I had to lift on the pit straight because I cut too much of the of that last flat out kink. I can't believe that. I've never done that. ruined the next lap as well because I was still thinking about it into turn 1. Anyway, we'll use this lap to just cool everything down. Currently setting P4. Probably should have been P3 if I had not been as rude or cheeky with the corner cut there. But that's definitely quicker than we went in our kind of practice session. And oh no, the clouds have just gotten dark. I think it's going to get worse. Someone's at a 54.9, that's phenomenal. Unfortunately, I think if the clouds are to be believed, the track might get worse, and then these first 2 laps are going to be crucial. Now, obviously, I messed up my second lap straight away. But the first one was pretty good. Just annoyed about the little corner cut at the end. But P4 is okay. Bad banker. That's probably, even though I literally had to lift off the throttle in a straight, it's still probably the best banker lap I've ever done. I'm terrible at banker laps. All right. Come on. Nope, too much throttle. Should probably take the TC up a little, shouldn't I? Alright, come on. Let's get that 2/10. Nice. We need to get P3 is 7/10 up the road, so we need 7/10 to get back in podium contention here. Don't quite know whether to go. It's obviously too wide, but hopefully we'll get a green. Too hot in there. Don't know whether to go inside line through Stowe or to run it kind of more around the outside. Should have experimented more in the practice session, I think. Not great, not bad, but somehow we've lost loads on the exit. Terrible second half of the lap, guys. I'm going to get one more lap in, though. We did take an extra lap of fuel than we needed. Alright, come on. Last attempt. We're P8 at the moment. So many positions if I just get this last sector right. That was better. I was trying. To be fair, we would have needed, I reckon I had an easy 6/7/10. I say easy, I spun, so it's not easy. I reckon my pace had that half second there to break back into a decent position, but hey, you know, you saw how quickly it snapped on me there, so good practice for the race, let's say. 22-minute race is like a sprint. But with double fuel, I don't know if we'll have to fuel save a little bit. With the wet weather, it might be okay. But we're just going to have to play it by ear. This is so slippy through this last corner. Don't know what my optimal would have been there, but I reckon, yeah, I reckon we're basically 7th, 8th, and 9th, just up the road from us in pace on qualifying. But I think that's where, I mean, I comfortably could have had the 3/4 I think I was already 3/4 up. And obviously I messed up the last sector on that lap. So, I mean, arguably we should be top 6, you know, but everyone could say the same. So I don't like to, it's very easy to sit and go, well, I lost 8/10, therefore I actually should be, you know, here. But everyone, literally everyone could say the same. You spin me right around. Yes. 22-minute race, full fuel, wet tyres to start with. We're 10th on the grid. I'm just looking for pace-wise. Yeah, 55.9, 55.7.6. So there's some fast people out there. Do we take wets or dries? 40% wet. It changed. I swear it changed. We're taking new wets, of course. Let's make sure we've got all the fuel. I will take my TC up by 1 click, you know. That's motor map. Let's not do that. All these buttons are new.
Formation lap has started.
Right. Middle of the grid. 10th. In all the spray, in all the rain, multi-class, 22 minutes, so we probably will catch the LMP3s towards the end, I would imagine. They'll be pretty close, though. Maybe we don't catch them. Thank you. Thank you so much, Zura Mario. I appreciate your support, as always, on these streams. I will do my best not to Dumbreck. Not that I could have done much about the first one. Let's just try not to get an erratic driving penalty first. I'm going to take the fuel number down now, just in case we do need to make a splash, which hopefully we don't. See if we can make some progress though from P10. I'm going to set my target. I'd love to finish this race in the top 7, right? P7 is what I'm going for. It's ambitious because it's ahead of our qualifying order and I'm kind of out of any race prep for this, really. But, you know, things can go wrong for others, so that's going to be my target. It's basically a proper ELMS Silverstone simulator because it was pouring with rain when this race took place in real life in 2025. I've already got someone coming through the middle, but I'm on the outside, which I like. Don't push me. Confidence. I love in the wet being on the outside and just trusting the car when everyone else is in a big queue. I got a little lucky there. I went to the outside line and then 2 people spun off on the outside. I'm already in my target position. Let's try and go around the outside. Just see if there's grip. Not bad. Didn't work for me in the end, but I tried. Oh! Whew. Got a little lucky there. I touched the guy in front, almost caused a spin there. It would probably been my fault. I just didn't quite I was trying to pay attention to 4 different things at once and didn't quite predict the overlap correctly. Oh, another spinner. Just trying to leave room. Don't think they could have avoided me there, to be fair. It was just really awkward. But that was a racing incident, I would say, in the hairpin. Trusting the grip on the outside. Got to be careful through here, that's the thing. I can easily have a spin here if I'm too impatient and just forget for a second to really focus up. Nah, I don't think it was my fault. But I don't think the person on the inside meant to hit me. I think they were just understeering or locked up. I think they were maybe even over the grass looking at the radar. It was very hard to tell. But I just kind of feel for them, to be honest. Just take it easy, because we've seen, like, what, 3 cars spin off in that first lap? Great exit from JS. I think it is first through here, but you just got to be so careful on throttle. I was doing second before. I think it's first. Gotta watch my fuel, guys. That's the main thing. Will we make it to the end on 1 tank of fuel? Do I need to fuel save? I'm not quite sure. Not a big fan of the queue forming behind me. Judged to perfection. I had a car overtaking me on the left. I had to absolutely thread the needle there to avoid a crash. Let's just let them have it. Try and follow them. They seem pretty fast. Don't really want collisions. I want my badge. Lots of spinners in this race, though. I'll let JS go because JS looked racy. And I was feeling a lot of pressure there, so I'd rather just be second in the queue and try and learn something, see if he can drag us up to the cars in front. We might obviously drop back further, but it's a risk I'm willing to take at this stage. Second through there as well as here. I'm too high a gear everywhere, really. Don't seem to have much straight line speed, or maybe it's just exit speed, I'm not sure. Sorry guys, I have to concentrate really hard. It's so tricky in these wet conditions. You've seen how many spins you can have in practice. You've seen how many people are spinning around me. It's not easy to actually to just drive these cars at low speed. They have absolutely no grip, so forgive me, I'm just full concentration mode here. New York Vice has seen my Peter Dumbreck moment. Glad you enjoyed it. Oh no, come on. Just no grip. Maybe I should turn down my TC actually and be more... I think that's maybe it. Maybe I'm getting bad exits because my TC's interrupting me too much. I remember doing a wet race in the Mustang at Interlagos And actually, turning the TC all the way down is what really helped me find the speed, because then I could just use the power to turn the car rather than understeer. But obviously these cars are very different to GT3 cars. But maybe... Ooh, that was very scary. Not got great pace at the moment. Santos all over the back of me. We're still P6 though, I'm still within my target. And everyone's very closely matched, to be fair. Just had a decent lap on this one and suddenly I've built a gap and I'm slightly closed on JS, so it shows you it's all there. Lowering the TC maybe did help me. I don't know if I want to go any further with it though, to be honest. That apex is going to help. First time I've made that apex in this race. And the yellow flag. That's for position. Good lap for me there, 57.2. I went for it on the outside, should have probably gone inside, but I just thought it would maybe be better to go outside, and obviously it was a bad move. I should have just had to back out. Good fun race though. Ah, too early on the power. I needed it though. Alright, let's see if Santos has a go here. Decent grip on the wet. Maybe that's it. Maybe I need to go wider. I seem to have good grip on the outside line still. And I've not really been exploring them in this race. I said earlier, the one thing you have to do is explore, but obviously when you're in the race and you can't really do that as easily. But when you're defending the outside, then you can feel the grip just a bit better, which is exactly how I feel like it should be. That's how I've experienced it in real life. Around, not every corner, but, general rule of thumb. That grip on the outside, it makes sense to me. So frustrating. More battling for position now. This is incredible. More spins up in front, more incidents. That's a lap car on the inside. Is that down P3? Didn't have time to check. Oh, that's scary. Oh, my bad. I was looking at 3 different places at once. That was my fault. Oh, that was going to get really exciting there. And problem there, I was like 3 wide, and I was paying attention to so many different things at once. I just touched him. That was totally on me. Thankfully, I'm the only one who kind of paid a price. And annoyingly, it's put us out of that amazing battle. So we've got to now use the clean air and catch up 3.5 seconds. But it was getting very dicey, wasn't it? I can see spins and stuff for sure happening in front of me in this race. I'm curious as to what noises you're hearing in the braking zones and stuff. For me, I've got, so the rattles I can hear through my headphones, I've got the curbs, big vibrations on the curbs. And I've got gear change, obviously my paddles make a noise. I've also got the seat itself, so when I push back to hit the brakes, obviously I've got a strong brake pedal, and the seat does actually sort of, not pop, but there's a noise when I put pressure through my back. But not a kind of, the only vibration noise I can think of is that, which is the curb rattle. The problem is, I'm probably seeing your comment coming through like 10 seconds after it happens. Another yellow flag. Car off. It's a latch car. Oh, tell you what, I feel for anyone who wasn't ready for this rain and maybe just doesn't have the feel of the car underneath them. They're going to have so many spins. It's properly tough. Another yellow flag. We've closed the gap on this battle again, no? Oh, hello. Can't see. Right, we're coming through the LMP3s now. Oh, on the grass. It's a terrifying lockup. Oh no. Absolutely terrifying. You'll see in my throttle trace on the exits of corners, I don't just nail the throttle at all, I'm feeding it on. I was being a bit too throttle happy in the early stages, that's why I was having a few rear end snaps. And I've just tried to calm that down a bit, lower the traction control to give me more control, but then be smoother with the throttle. So it's less limiting, but I can also counter that with a bit more control, and then it just means that I get it when I want it more often than not. The counteract, of course, is if I go too heavy, there's less there to save me, but I think I've kind of got a feel for it now. And we're now only 2.8 seconds off of JS and P4 again, so we're kind of back in that battle that I spun out of earlier. I need to listen back to the stream. Ooh. I'll listen back to the stream after and see if I can find what pinpoint the noise that you're hearing. Let's try some outside lines. Let's use this battle with this car in front of me to try and find grip on the outside and see if I can find some lap time. Just in certain corners, of course. See if I can get round him by going on the outside rather than sending it, unless it obviously opportunity arises. Ooh. Didn't like that. Didn't like that. Oh! They lost the rear, and I had to lift because I was just trying to nail a switch back to the inside, but because they had a slide, if I'd have done it, I would have spun them around, so I had to really jump out of that quick. I was maybe chancing my luck by running that close to the back of them. Go for the up and under. Oh, you saw it tiny bit too early on the power, but oh, this is fun. This is really fun. definitely got the pace. Just need the space. LMP3 in the way, so I don't want to scare them into a crash. Try and get a good exit though. That's too wide, I think. Nope, come on. Okay, that was cheeky, but I'll take it. I'm sorry, I kind of took avoiding action to overtake you there, but and it was all the LMP3 who spun. It was nothing to do with the car that I overtook, but you have to take your opportunities, and it's not illegal to take advantage of someone else's error that wasn't their fault, so there we are. Circumstantial. Right, this is going to be really awkward. I need to be careful here. Just get the exit. Okay. Boom, we've got a little bit of a buffer. Right, now, head down again. We've got 4.5 minutes. Haven't even checked my fuel load. Yeah, I think we're fine. Using less fuel in the wet than we maybe would normally, but I think we've got 5 laps of fuel from this point, and only like 3 laps to go, so we should be absolutely fine. .8 seconds to Santos, 2.2 to JS, so I know it's fast, but I feel like my fastest lap might be slightly quicker if I can hook it all up and get my act together. Oh. Impossible. It's so tricky. Very, very tricky. Come on. Ah, it's the sound in game. Okay. Thought it was my mic or something. We're only 3 seconds off of the podium here, guys. I know there's only 2 or 3 laps left, but if they start battling, I've got good pace. But everything would need to be just really lucky at this point. But I'm not ruling it out. I could also throw everything away, let's be real. Oh, took 2 bites of that. That was terrifying as well. It's going to ruin the fastest lap attempt. What's happening down here? Oh no, we're into LMP3 battling. That's actually, do you know, it's probably a good thing, but I think I've caught them at a bad point here. That could have been really beneficial to me, and I think instead it's probably not timed it quite right. We were on for a fastest lap there and we've lost 1.7 seconds, but we're still only 2.9 off of the podium, so that could have been, we could have been 1.3 off the podium. 2 laps to go, I think. So this won't be the last lap, the next one will be, which helps us. We've still got a chance. I'm going to use my track limits if I need to. Don't think we've used any yet. Should we go a wide line here? I don't know if I need to because I'm not in a battle. They're all so close together. Oh, it's now LP3. Thank you so much for getting out of the way. I'm so sorry for sort of sending one on you there. Come on. They're side by side up in front. Can't see the apex. I've turned in too early. I'm on the ground. It's so hard to see. I'm throwing away my opportunities here, though. No, I'm not going to have enough of the run in this LMP3. Oh, there's one. And there's a crash. That's such a shame. LMP3 got taken out there, unfortunately, by a spinner. Just saw it in the mirror, right there side by side up in front. Podium still on. Please, thank you. P2 is 2.4 seconds away. There's arguments going on. We're purple sector 1, come on! I've got so much confidence in the car all of a sudden. Yes, come on. Oh, he spun. What a shame, but also takes pressure off me. We're still going to beat our PB lap time or match it with the overtake. Oh, that was terrifying. Oh, it's all back markers. Oh, wow. Hey. Oh, we got P3. What happened? We got a podium. How? I have no idea. Hey, I'll take that. What a great... That was so enjoyable. Really needed that after our disaster earlier on. Mr. Ninja Fish, yes, you did miss a Peter Dumbreck moment. Go back to lap 1 of the Le Mans race at the start of the stream. Whew. I was really in the zone there. Like, I didn't feel confident in the car at the start of the race. You could probably see that in my pace. I wasn't quite there. But then, see, towards the end, I think I was fastest car on track towards the end, to be quite honest with you. Best lap time, I had there was a 57.0 from JS, 56.8 from their winner, so they were faster ultimately. But I could have definitely done a 56 there, if I didn't have the overtake in the last lap, for instance. So yeah, really happy with that. Yeah, I'm not going to do a shoey for P3 in a 20-minute sprint race. But anytime I get a podium in the top split, unless there's like 4 people competing, I take it. So we'll see what happens with our ranking. Track limits must be very difficult, Ludicrous Fool, because there's so much variation to them, and obviously in real life they're, depending on whether they use sensors or cameras or what it is, or just Marshall's line of sight, it can be objective, it can be subjective. That's just really tricky, so very difficult to sort in a sim. Oh, hoping for my rank breakdown. Well, what's the time? I reckon I've got time for one more race. Let's just see what we've got. We could do the same thing in 16 minutes. I mean, I'd be up for doing that again and trying to win now that I'm in the zone, to be quite honest with you. We've also, I think, got a Sebring one in... That's 41 minutes. It's a bit further on. I'd be up for another Silverstone one. But it is the same again, so it depends if you guys want to see that. 16 minutes feels like a good amount of time as well. Or we just jump... I mean, I don't really necessarily want to jump into that really long event. What other options have we got? Algarve GT3 26. I did that last time. And then these ones are too far away. 40 minutes, 45 minutes. We could obviously do the Silverstone in the LMP3, so I'm just going to do a poll. Let you guys decide. I can't fit in all the characters of my question. I'll have to get rid of one of the dots. Alright. You guys can decide. Do we want LMP2 or LMP3? I just thought the actual racing there was so good. It was wet, and it was controllable, but just the dancing with the car and the sliding around, it was really good for racing. You're going back and watching the first lap at La Sarthe. It was wild. Yeah. Double Mark Webber. LMP2's got it at the moment. So have any of you seen our Forza video from yesterday? Where obviously we cover sim racing games, but we also cover racing games on this channel, as I'm sure many of you know. And Forza Horizon 6 sort of dropped a surprising update last night that we knew there was going to be something. Like we were ready to go in terms of we were waiting there, waiting for the Xbox showcase, and I don't know, we maybe thought it was going to be a release date teaser or just a little bit more of a trailer rather than just the 10-second teaser. And they just dropped so much information. Cheers, Zuramaru. I can't speak. Cheers, Zuramaru. Thank you as always for joining, and I hope you have an amazing weekend. So yeah, we Forza Horizon dropped this crazy video yesterday, and it had so many features, like new features. Obviously, the landscape all looked incredible. Forza Horizon 6, for those of you who don't know, is coming to Japan. And with that comes all these like amazing different biomes and luscious lands, and you know, the mountainous areas, the mountain roads, the toge roads. You've also got Tokyo as a densely populated urban area. You've got lots of mountainous regions, rivers, snowfall. You've got the Daikoku car park, the C1 loop. There's so much there, and it looks beautiful. Like, it looks absolutely stunning. But also, there's some really interesting sounding new features, which is obviously what Horizon needs. It needs some new features, just to kind of freshen up a little bit. Right, who's going to bring us luck? Which livery is going to bring us luck? I do quite like the 29. Or do we? You know what? Maybe we go for Panis VDS. We'll channel our inner Scott Redding from back in the day. We'll go the VDS Panis car. Yeah, that's totally fair, Ludicrous. Totally fair. Yeah, Forza and Gran Turismo are very different. Forza Motorsport, I think, tries to do what Gran Turismo does, but The difference is Gran Turismo leans into like meticulous car authenticity, and Gran Turismo, the best way I can put it is Gran Turismo is more of an automotive enthusiast's experience, where it's as much about the car and the experience of owning the car and the information about the car and the history of it and that kind of stuff. Forza Motorsport, on the other hand, is more about like racing. Like it's just about racing and tons of different race cars and fire it on the track and let's have a good battle and let's just race. High energy. Very sort of different atmosphere in that kind of sense. Forza Horizon is different altogether once again. Horizon is much more fun focused, adventure and fun and road cars and free roaming and all that kind of stuff. So Forza Horizon is very different to Gran Turismo. But weirdly, Gran Turismo sort of leans into road cars, whereas Forza Motorsport leans into race cars. So in that way, Gran Turismo is more like Forza Horizon. It's a bit weird. But I get it. Like, Forza Motorsport is all about racing and circuits. Forza Horizon is about road cars and automotive adventure and, throwing your cars down highways with friends and all this kind of stuff. But there's a lot to it. There's a lot of fun to be had with it. And even though I'm like a big sim racer myself, much more of a sim racer than like an arcade racer or anything, I still find Forza Horizon really, really fun. Really fun. You do get tired of it if you play it too much, and too many games in the row are very similar, but it looks like this Forza Horizon 6 Japanese edition is going to be a little bit different. There's going to be a few new features that actually I think will change the feel of the game. Easy to say, and I'm it's very easy to be overly excited and then disappointed when it comes out and it's ultimately not that different. And I'm not saying it's going to be a totally different game, but there's enough there for me to be like, oh, okay, I'm curious, I'm looking forward to playing it. Hopefully I'll get to play it, and we'll see what's what. But yeah, the new one is a Horizon one, correct? So yeah, I was very skeptical. I didn't really have an Xbox growing up. I was a PlayStation person, and then when Forza Horizon came to PC, and then obviously I got into PC sim racing, and then I got into PC sim racing a long time before that. But I first experienced Horizon in the kind of later years, like Horizon 4 on PC, and because I'd missed it from launch, it was really, really interesting and fun and surprisingly exciting to play, just because there was so much going on. And then Horizon 5 was just almost, it felt like the same game in a different place with a few little tweaks. I don't think it was much better than 4, but they were both good. So yeah. 6 is open world, yes. And it is coming to PC on launch. All the Forza Horizon games are open world to a degree. You're on a massive island or a big map. And so it is open world, but it's not obviously unlimited. It's not generating open world, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's cool. I think if you like car games, buy a Forza Horizon game. Either maybe start with 4, because it'll be cheaper now maybe, but if you can still get it, that is. That's what I would say, honestly. Right, I want to do something. I want to basically test if I can get 8 minutes worth of laps in here. I want to see if I can get wet lines and dry lines and compare the speed. Kimi Antonelli is in the server, but I don't know if it's real Kimi Antonelli. He does like a bit of sim racing, so you never know, but I would have thought he'd be a bit busy, considering the launch was yesterday. Yeah, no problem. Oh, I've just cut across the pit lane line. That was stupid. Yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is, if you like car games, even if it's simulation more than racing games, I think you'll have a lot of fun on Horizon, because when you're new to the game, there's just so much there to do and explore, and it's really fun, discovering new areas and taking part in races and collecting amazing cars. It's a little bit of a dopamine rush to almost a too high an extent. It feels like you collect cars too easily. There's not a massive kind of, depending on which Horizon game you play, especially with Horizon 5, I think it felt a bit too easy to get to the faster stuff, but maybe that's just me misremembering. I like a game that's a little bit more, not a grind, but just a little bit more of delayed gratification. Kimi Antonelli's binned it. Right, I feel obviously I'm far more confident in this combo now after that previous race. So I need to kind of set a time using my lines from the last race, but then just try and experiment with some wet lines and see if I can find any more time. It's going to be changing every lap in the race, though. Well done on getting third. Yeah, Gear Club Unlimited is going to be set in Japan. Obviously, you've got Japanese Drift Master set in Japan. You've got Tokyo Extreme Racer set in Tokyo. You've got CarX Street, which is set in Japan. Midnight Club Games, Need for Speed, they've all been set in Japan at times. So there are lots and lots of open-worldy car game options that are set in Japan. But I think that's why it's... Although on one hand you're like, oh, I've seen Japan so many times, it's also pretty cool that Horizon's coming to Japan, because Horizon is like the massive budget racing title that will, you know, it's going to hopefully do Japan justice, and it has all the budget and experience and resource to do an area justice, if that makes sense. Right, this hasn't exactly been a great start to the lap, but it's really Stowe I want to check. So this corner here, I'm going to do a normal line like I did in the race. So braking about here, down to second gear, in early, on the power. A little bit over the curb, but that should become green, yep. And then the next lap, I'm going to try a wider line and just see what happens on the delta. And I might not nail it, but at least I'll have an idea. And if there's any other corners where I feel like trying it, I will. So much about in the rain is like confidence and just sort of like once you get a feel and you're in tune with the car, it just happens. It's weird. It's like, what am I doing differently? I don't know, but for some reason I've just suddenly unlocked a bunch of pace, or everyone else is suddenly struggling, and I've got the pace. Maybe I looked after my tyres well, I'm not sure, but in that last race, that's terrible. Our lap's still valid, so it's fine. Alright, this is the experimental lap. Now, I didn't really do this bit very well the first lap, so I'm not expecting it to be mega fast. Didn't do it great there either, but not terrible. It's this next corner. So, I'm going to try a wet line, like on the outside, if I can. We're 3/10 up going into the corner, so let's remember that. Try and brake a bit later. And we're 3/10 up coming out of the corner, but we've got yellow track limits. So actually, you could see there was more grip, but I didn't really, you know, I gained out a better exit, but I think it's kind of touch and go as to whether it's better, because you saw how wide I was. That being said, I could do it better. So, there's scope there. I think basically it just gives me options, right? If I can, in the race now I know that there's that grip on the outside, I can either go outside or inside. I haven't really found any other corners where I think it would benefit me yet. That's not going to benefit anything. Around here, there's just no point. It's just a horrible corner. Need to be way tighter on the inside. And here I actually found it pretty beneficial to keep a tight apex, to be honest. And then just down to the first here, got much better at not losing the rear here, got a better technique. He says, getting the power down too early. Alright, come on, fast lap now. Fast race pace lap. Oh no. No, we're not going to get... We'll still be able to see what we can do. You know it's invalid. Oh, that's a nightmare. Well done, by the way, for getting top 5 from the pit lane. That's insane. It's a very short race as well. Middle of the road might be the way to go, actually, because it's still more grip in the middle than there is on the inside there. Okay, don't lock up into the hairpin. Got it. The chicane, sorry. Understood. Put together some really shocking laps in this practice session, but it's fine. Anyway, we're going to stop there. I'm going to get into the session, and then I'm going to run away for 2 seconds. Event starts in 1 minute. So again, expecting to be top split, but we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're like down in, we're like 16th or 17th in the ranking, so our expected finish should be around 16, 17, which is hopefully going to help our rank. We've kind of gone for gold before, and then as we got close, we had a few really unlucky races in a row, and we actually dropped quite a lot. And since then, I've not really been doing lots of races consecutively, as you can see. So let's see what we did from that Silverstone race, now that we've got a rank breakdown. 7 places gained, 0 impact on strength of split. I'm not sure what that is. We've gained driver ranking, of course, and that's good. It's just the same, more the same. So pretty good gains, I would say. And we've got some good safety ranking, not that we really need it. Okay, we're going to join, and I will be back in a second. If there's one thing this tells you, Le Mans Ultimate's loading times aren't the best, because we're still loading it. It's 100%, so we're almost there. Don't know why it's showing up as fully black on. Oh, the loading screen's gone from 100% to 0%. You guys can't see this right now. And there, we're in. Okay. And we're literally straight out in qualifying, so let's get the fuel out of the car, get onto the wets. We can do 1 less lap of fuel, so we'll do 5.1. The track is actually more wet at the moment in this session than it was in the last one, which is really interesting. So it could be, the conditions are obviously not set. It's wet, but it's not set. 60% rain on this one. Okay, it's going to be challenging. Now it's changed to 40%. Forgetting that. I was looking to my left, but there's no one else. There's no one else on track, of course. Again, we should time this so that it goes green just when we get there. Or, yeah, a little bit early. Okay, top split, LMP2, once again, like the last race, but potentially more competition in this one. I think we're 16th or 17th is our expected result based on ranking. So I'm not going to say that I'm going to be fighting for a win here, because we could have some more fast drivers. However, I just want to have a good race, have good pace, try and do what I did last time, but start better, start stronger, use what I've learned, and then hopefully we'll be kind of further up earlier, if that makes sense. And I'll try not to spin this time. Try and look after the tyres on this first out lap. Definitely can gain a lot of time there through the loop, the village and the loop with a better line. I think that was a nice out lap. Big understeer through there. Maybe tyre's not quite in yet, but more than I expected. Not a bad opening lap so far. Got Gwen Stefani on pole position at the moment. More sim racing pop stars. $55.0, that's insane. $55.8, I'm actually happy, but $55.0 is crazy. Maybe the track's not as bad as it was for our last session, because I mean, that's a lot faster for me as well, to be fair. Can't remember what qualifying was in the first session from pole. Was it a 55? Can't remember. Ooh, another 55.5. We're in the mix though. Full concentration mode, apologies. 610's up. Not going to be pole, but it could put us back in the front row temporarily. Oh, no. Come on, recover. Big snap on the way into the final corner. It's cost us a bit, but it's not ruined the lap. I kind of recovered it quite well. 55.1. Haven't worked out my wet line through the exit there yet. Oh, look at that. Front row now separated by 100th. Come on, last lap still could make it count. Gotta go back to green. Nope, didn't do it. We're gonna get one more lap in, I think, guys. This lap's not gonna count, but I've got a minute 16 to make it round again. It should be enough. Keep the tyres in good nick. And we go one more. Figueiredo's behind us. I think Figueiredo's on pole for our last race, so the pace is a lot stronger. I think actually the qualifying conditions are probably the same. I think it's just I've found a lot more pace. And there's other people that are fast as well. So we've got a really nice... This is going to be an amazing race, I think. Alright. Last lap. Too aggressive into T1, but hopefully it comes back green again. Nope, didn't. Okay. Anticlimax, I'm really sorry. But I had to go for it, really. Had to attack. And there goes Figueiredo, 54.8. That sounds actually more like Figueiredo's quali lap from the first one. That feels familiar. I think he did a high 54. So we're just faster. We've got ourselves sussed. And look at this. You've got up to P7 are all within the 55s, and that's with still a lap to go for some folks. So yeah. It's looking good for a fun race, and we can just see what we can do. Figueiredo spun out, I think, of the last race, and then was catching me. I saw when I was down, after my spin, I saw him in the relative thing a couple of seconds back, or like a couple of positions back, and then he disappeared again, so I think he went off again. Anyway, let me know, where do you think I'm going to finish this race? If we qualify, I mean, third or fourth, it's fourth now. Or even if we drop down to fifth, where do you think we're going to finish? While I'm on ultimates going loady again. Anyone still on a lap? Oh, P5 is going to improve, I think. But not enough to... No, they are going to pass me. Are they 2/10? Not quite. Oh, got within a 10th. Okay. So definitely, there looks like a little bit of a sort of top 5 group here within 4/10. And then you've got another 3/10 gap back to P6. So maybe it's, pace-wise, it's top 5. But, I mean, we'll see what happens in the race. We shall see. Someone is absolutely going mad on the horn. Right. Have a drink and then we'll give it a go. We definitely do not need any fuel. We shouldn't need to pit at all, let's be real. P4 is an exciting place to start this race. Does my setup have a tray for my mouse and keyboard? Yes. I have a Logitech kind of combined thing on a keyboard tray from Pro SIMRIG and Race Anywhere, and it's been great. And it swivels, so you can't see it, but I can swivel it away from me towards me, so kind of like a door opening to get in and out of the rig. And it's got my Stream Deck on it as well, so I can control. That's why you sometimes see me reaching down for buttons, so I can control my mic and mute things and put music on and all that kind of stuff on the keyboard tray. So there you go. Let's concentrate here in the start because I don't want to get done for a drive-through for erratic driving, which is very easy to get in this game.
Green flag, green flag.
Pretty even start. Might drop to 5th though. Let's just stay on the outside. Don't cut across me. Yeah, he's cut across me, fair. This is high energy already. I was really planning to go aggressive at the start, but everyone else did as well because everyone's fast. So the difference between the confident start from this race and the less confident starts from previous, such a big difference. This is what I mean about being race rusty. If I haven't done a race in ages, it's really, it like takes me a few races to get back into that zone of being able to just attack, and it takes me obviously practicing a combo to know my limits, even on lap 1. But I had consistent quality pace, so I know I can stick with these guys. Just gotta try and minimize mistakes and hopefully break away from the group behind if they are slower. Oh no. Wow. There was obviously no contact there, but I did very well. I was also lucky to avoid the contact, just go inside. I committed early to going inside, and it slowed me down, but I survived. Now we've got some clean room to just attack a little bit and get back up to the group in front, so I don't mind that a little bit. Get some confidence in the tyres, in the feel of the car, without having to worry about careering into the back of someone. Big step out for the car in front. Mark's gone back and watched the Dumbreck. Right, P4. Now we need to settle in. We had the car pass us, then spin off, so we're just a bit further back than we want to be, especially from the lead two, who seem to have gone. But I was going to say it's a long race. It's not a long race, but it's longer than 2 laps, so let's see what happens. A lot can happen in these short races because of the weather. That's what I was trying to say. feel like I'm losing lots of time there. Yeah, it was crazy, wasn't it? wait until you see the replays that we played after that, Mark. If you have more time later, go back and watch the aftermath as well, because I did go and look at the replay, and it was very, very funny. I did see the ACR Monte Carlo announcement. I don't know if there was an announcement today with the dates, but I saw that it was announced yesterday with the sister on stage and a second Monte Carlo stage. That, as a big WRC fan, hugely excites me, of course. And it is exactly what we thought with the, you know, Livigno ice circuit potentially acting as like a test bed for ice and snow. And that excites me. Right, I've got more pace than Guggen here. If I can just get around quickly, try and chase down the leaders, but I think they might be gone at this point already. I keep seeing yellow flags and thinking, oh, I've got a chance here. Someone in front's got off, but it's obviously yellow flags behind us in the same sector. Oh, Guggen. Ah, I locked up trying to avoid. I was unlucky there. Oh, what a shame. Anyway, we can. I mean, 17 minutes. Let's see what we can do with a comeback fight. Literally, what can I do? Guggen spins in front of me. I have obviously tried to get the brakes hard and just locked the rears, and it's cost me. But no one's fault. Just the way it goes. So we're now P10, but I think I've got good pace again. So essentially, like the last race, can we get all the way back up near a podium? Let's find out. That's one, hopefully. Thank you. Next one is Guggen, so the two of us might be fighting through the field here, because obviously Guggen has good pace. Yeah, the date of the release hasn't been said yet, so let's hope it's... I mean, obviously we want to hope it's soon, but also want to hope that they've got it right before they release it, so... It doesn't really matter when it comes, as long as it's not 3 months. But yeah, great to already see. I actually, to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting new stages announced this soon. I was kind of thinking, oh, it's going to be another little while yet. But if they keep on releasing stages at this rate, I'll be absolutely delighted. First track limits of the day. Yeah. It is like Mario Kart. I couldn't believe it. As it was happening, I was in sheer disbelief. I was like, what is happening right now? This is all fixed setup racing as well, guys, so everyone's on the same setup. You can, of course, tweak some stuff. I've just left it exactly as it is with the traction control where it was. I didn't turn it up this time like I did last time. Just feels comfortable for me. Was tempted to jump down the inside there, but decided against it. Horrible snap on the exit, but survived just. That could have easily caused a spin. I've got my rhythm though with this combo. Feeling consistent now in terms of what I actually have to do with the car, what gears to be in, things like that. Not perfect, definitely, but consistent. Visibility is the biggest challenge. Alright, there's one position, someone was off. Focus on my exit here. I think everyone else is doing the same, yep. I was hoping everyone would go for like inside lines there and I was going to go outside, but no, everyone went outside and I just did the worst job of it. But I've got that trick up my sleeve of wide line through here giving me more grip. I know it's there, so hopefully we'll use that to make some moves later. I'll try and get both of these in one go. Through goes Hamilton style. Nope, not going to happen. We'll get one of them though. How many people have just spun out in front of me? I've not touched anyone. It's just every time I get close to someone, the car just goes, ah! Some true grid legends. Nope. Sorry. Come on. It's fine. Time loss, but I can get back. Anyway, I was trying to say true grid legend stuff, because like in Grid Legends, it feels like sometimes there's some scripted stuff where the car in front of you suddenly has like a massive crash or goes flying off the circuit, just to make it more realistic and authentic feeling, but you start realizing it always happens to cars in front of you. It's quite funny. I've got to make that time back up because I pushed too hard there while I was joking about Grid Legends. So it's going to take me a few laps, sadly. Okay, it's going to take me 3 laps now. Oh, there you go. Another one spins in front of me. That 4 times in this race. Oh dear. Let's just take the track limit ahead. We'll lift to make it yellow. That's an LMP3. Oh. Thank you for trying to slow down and get out of the way. Alright, annoyingly, 4 seconds now to P5, so and I think P5 is one of the fast cars, so we'll just have to keep an eye on that gap. I'm going to drive it like qualifying, and we'll see what happens, basically. Nope, 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 nope. It's not gone to plan. Literally on me, I said I'm going to drive it like qualifying. Threw the throttle down, and I did what everyone in front of me has been doing for this whole race. Which sort of, yeah, just proving how easy it is, or how bad I am, I don't know, both. Another car off. This poor LMP3 is just trying to get out of the way of everyone, then keeps having cars pass him, spin. Right, 10 minutes left. I can still try and get back a few positions. Dumbreck moment happened on the first lap of the Le Mans race, way back at the start of the stream, if you want to go see it. And it happened exactly where Dumbreck's happened, essentially. being a little bit... Driving poorly into turn 1, which is... Ooh, that curb. You can just see how lethal the curbs, and as soon as you lose a bit of grip, it's so easy to get it wrong. I'm driving a bit too aggressively maybe into turn 1 and getting a lot of orange track warnings. So I need to try and cut that out, because I didn't do it at all in the first race, and all of a sudden I'm doing it most laps, it feels. Just wondering if, like, I'm doing it again there. Have I pushed the tyres too hard, maybe? Is this what happened to other people in the first race? Because I came in again, at the end of the race I came good. Is that a spinner? Nope, but it's cars, so I'll fight them. I feel like I came good towards the end of the race, but I'm wondering if I'd, like, if my rivals maybe had overheated their tyres. Because look, I've got no damage, but I'm getting lots and lots of rear snapping now. So maybe I've worn the rear wets too much, and now I need to just dial it back a little bit. I'll maybe just try being a bit easier on the throttle and see if I can manage them temperature-wise and just bring them back in. Bob's off. So the key to a good result in this race is not even being that fast, it's just not spinning. Which is exactly why race 1 went well. Even though I did spin in it. That's better. Oh, goodbye. Another one. Bannister, 5th car in front of me to spin off. Almost back in the top 10. I wonder if also I think the tracks maybe, do you know what it is? It's raining quite heavily, and I reckon I'm maybe trying to drive the track like it was qualifying conditions, and I feel like the track is actually worse now than it was in qualifying. That might also be where some of these mistakes are coming from. I'm not really thinking about the track changing, I'm just sort of doing what I now know to be the speed. As you can see, I've just got no grip everywhere. Oh! Hello. No rear wing on that one. Woo! It is so tricky in these conditions, honestly. Battle for the lead. I just saw them switch positions. 28 seconds up the road. And to think I was aiming for them earlier in the race. No, it's too fast. Get it under control. We're fine. Still a few positions I can try and take here. Oh. I've got nothing left. A spinner. Oh, hello. LMP3, so it's not a position change. Put Nunez under pressure. I think there's 2 more ahead of them we can still get with some good driving. But I need to keep it on the black stuff. I need to keep the pressure on and maybe try and force a mistake rather than overtake, because you've seen how many times that's happened successfully in this race so far. Or force myself into another mistake. There's a GT3, not GT3, an LMP3 off on the outside as well. And it was just like, oh no, this is not going to end well. Oh no. Spin City. That's pretty much game over, isn't it? P12 now. 4 seconds off of P11. I mean, it's doable, but the way I'm driving. Just a tiny bit too confident. When the tracks got worse, when the grip's lowered, I just have too much faith that the car's going to be fine, because it was before. And it's literally what I was talking about earlier on. If you just, in these conditions, everyone's on the same setup. You have it or you don't. You've got the feel, you've got the tires underneath you, and you've got the rhythm, or you don't. And you can fall out of that rhythm if the track changes and you don't adapt with it. And you can fall into the rhythm if you suddenly your driving suddenly suits the track better, or you find something like I did in the first race. And in this race we've spun twice on our own volition at least. Bob's off again. Sorry, Bob. I was doing my fastest laps of the race at the end of the last one. I'm now, you know, in a lap where I'm pushing on a second, 1.1 off into split 2. We have closed the gap as well in the car in front, so still potentially one position we can grab, but I don't know, there's not enough time left. Well, that's one position. This is another one, if I can get this. Alright, we've got a battle. 2 laps of battling, and maybe the car in front if they lose it. Oh, that made it easy. Into the top 10 we go. Finally get turn run right. Suddenly I think there's a darker line, which means the grip's back a little bit, so I'm going to treat that as I've got the grip I did at the beginning again, because it's just that slightly darker line appearing. Yeah, and the green delta suggests that we do have the grip again, so I think the weather's just changed maybe. The grip's just changed on that lap. Just into the first corner, I suddenly felt, you know, more confidence, and the car just did what I wanted it to do. Two cars within 3 seconds now, 1 lap still to go. If they battle, let's not spin. I've also got a car 1 second behind me, so I've got to watch my mirror too, if I make too many mistakes. I just think my grip's come back a little bit now. Is that the rain on again now? It's going away again. It's so hard to tell. It's so hard to tell. You just got to feel it. But that lap, even with a mistake, was faster than the laps before it, where I felt like I was just driving to the limit of the grip. So I think it's there still. We're going to trust it. We're going to take the bold move and trust the grip. And hopefully use that confidence to catch up with some of the cars in front. 1.4 now to the car ahead, 2.8 to the car behind. This is the last lap. Can I catch 1.4 seconds in half a lap? Probably not. Two tenths. Oh, double upshift. Another 3/10 caught. He's going to catch the LMP3 in a bad place. But it's not going to be enough time. 2 corners to go. I'm not going to do it. Now within half a second. We'll give it a go. Nope. No, don't lose the top 10. Keep going. Go. No, don't drive into me. Oh, he didn't see me. Didn't see me. To be fair, I was spun off, so I kind of get why they might have missed me. I mean, that sums it up. Oh, man. That was fun. I really enjoyed it, you know, finishing 12th. Nightmare of a race, but it was a laugh. It was a laugh. I think that LMP, that LMP3, obviously it shouldn't have rejoined with the car coming, but I'm guessing it's because I'd spun. They didn't quite... I was maybe just not on the radar in the same way. But never nice to be taken out by a car rejoining, as I was rejoining. Oh, anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I honestly think that the second and third races, I mean, the first race was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious with the Dumbreck situation. But I did not expect to be doing my 2.4 hours of Le Mans or doing one lap of that race and then laughing at a replay and moving on to something else. But, you know, it happens. And then, yeah, 2 races at Silverstone in the wet. I thought were going to be good fun. I thought I was going to struggle. I did at the very start a little bit, but actually I held my own. I got back up through the field. I finished 3rd in that first race, which I'm really happy about after qualifying 9th or 10th in the top split as well. And then this second race, I clearly had good pace. I just overestimated my confidence. I think I had too much confidence, which sometimes is a good thing. But when the weather's changing like that, I think I just was misreading the road a little and trying to treat it like it had a little bit more grip than it did. The first incident wasn't my fault. I had to lock up the brakes slightly, trying to avoid the car in front, which had spun, and it's so tricky in these conditions. And then from that point onwards, yeah, many of my own mistakes. And then even the last lap, the first part was my mistake, and then I got wiped out by a back marker. So a mixture of my fault and bad luck, let's say. But that is racing. And hey, I think I was the 17th highest rated in that split. And I know that means I was like right at the bottom level, but I finished 12th. There was only 14 finishers in class, so it was a nightmare. But I finished 12th. Could have been 3rd, but it was 12th. And I had a laugh. Thank you so much, as always, for joining. That is almost 4 o'clock, which is when I actually thought I'd be finishing roughly the Le Mans race. So we've done the same level of stream, more races, just not quite the race I was expecting to do. And I hope you've had a good time watching. I've certainly had a good time racing. Let me know what you're doing this weekend as well. I hope you enjoy whatever that might be. I'm going to just check the rank breakdown, see if it's here. My driver ranking, I'm 2 bars away from silver 2, I guess. I don't think I really lost much. In fact, I gained stuff there because of my qualifying, probably. 4th of 23. So it's worked in my favor in terms of ratings, even though it was an absolute nightmare. So that's fine. But yeah, thanks for watching. Enjoy whatever it is you're up to this weekend, whether it's sim racing like I am, whether it's watching amazing motorsport like I probably am, whether it's sim racing like I might try and squeeze in at some point, or whether it's a music festival, or whatever else it is that you're interested in. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining as always. And keep an eye out on the Traction channel because we will still have more videos coming in the coming days. I don't know exactly when. We're working on a few things at the same time at the moment, as well as a bunch of future projects, which relate to LMU, some of them. So if any of you are racing on LMU, they may well come in handy for you. So bear that in mind. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Leave a like if you've enjoyed. All of the usual plugging stuff that feels a bit rude to do, but I feel like I have to at the same time. And yeah. Goodbye.